Here are 3 things that you must start doing right now to dramatically improve your English pronunciation. These 3 items are so common and what so many English learners are not doing. So, let us change that. Let's get started. 1. Pronounce the past ending ed of regular verbs correctly. Whenever you speak English, it's guaranteed that you will talk about things that happened in the past. So, it's imperative that you pronounce the pasts of verbs correctly. That is, ensure that you pronounce the ed ending correctly. Because all regular verbs end in ed in the past, you must learn this rule and make sure you pronounce the ed ending the correct way. Let's take a look at this first point more closely. Did you know there are 3 ways to pronounce the ed ending, which is the past ending of regular verbs? For example, the infinitives talk, need, and listen all have different past ending sounds for their past ending, ed. For example,
talked, needed, listened.
in this lesson, we will learn the rules regarding the 3 different sounds for the ed suffix or ending, so you will know which ending you need to use. By the way, these symbols that you see are what we call IPA symbols, or International Phonetic Alphabet. You don't need to memorize these symbols. It is just a way for us to represent the letters with a visual symbol. That way, you can see what the sound actually looks like. As you can see, in all 3 pasts, talked, needed, and listened, the ending ed has a different sound. So let's learn the rules, and by just doing this one thing, you're going to sound so much more fluent. Let's dive a little deeper into these 3 sounds
id, d,
so that you can learn the rule. Infinitives that end in these sounds
p, k, f, s, ch, sh.
is equal to. In the past, we know it's a bit of a long rule, but you'll learn it fast. For instance,
Hope, hoped,
also remember we have to focus on the sound and not the letter. So hope ends in the letter E, but the sound with which it finishes is a P.
like, liked. Please give us a like if you liked this video. Laugh, laughed. Promise, promised. Watch, watched. Wash, washed.
Infinitives that end in these sounds
D,
is equal to.
id,
Start, started. Translate, translated. End, ended. Intend, intended.
All other infinitives just take the sound D in the past. For example,
Allow, allowed. Cry, cried.
you can learn this rule gradually by reading and simply observing different past forms of verbs and focusing first on the infinitive ending sound. For instance, if we take the infinitive, hope, we can see that hope ends in the sound P and then come back to the rule. And according to the rule, P equals T. Do this, and after a couple of weeks, you will memorize this rule and sound loads better. 2. You need to start using aspiration. Aspiration equals a stronger expulsion of air when producing the sounds.
t, p, k.
These are the sounds you need to aspirate or make a stronger expulsion of air in English.
T, p, k.
For example,
10. P. Kill.
Aspiration is denoted with an H symbol. However, dictionaries do not normally display it. So, why is it important to aspirate or make a stronger expulsion of air when pronouncing the sounds?
T, P, K.
Because if you fail to do the necessary aspiration, it's possible the person you're speaking to will confuse your intended word for another word. For example, if you say 10 without aspiration, the listener will hear den. If you say P without aspiration, the listener will hear B. If you say kill without aspiration, the listener will hear gill. You see our point? So from now on, start making a stronger expulsion of air with these sounds.
T, P, K.
3. Pronounce the letter pairs NG and NK correctly. Are you saying havin' or having? Guess which one is correct. Only the second one, having, is correct. This is because in English, the letter pairs or pairs of letters NG and NK are pronounced as
Ing.
so. NG and NK do not equal the sound N. Remember, all gerunds contain the letter pair NG, so given how extensive this is, you must do this. Let's practice now.
Knowing and not knowin'. Say showing and not showin'. Say think and not thin. Say sink and not sin.
Remember, when you see the pairs of letters NG or NK, pronounce them as
Ing.
in essence, all gerunds, verb plus ing, end in the letter pair NG. So consequently, gerunds take this sound on the NG at the end. And gerunds are extremely common, so make sure you do this. So if you start doing this, that's already a huge improvement. In summary, the 3 things we learned in this lesson, which you must do to see huge improvements in your pronunciation are: 1. Pronounce the ED ending correctly. 2. Aspiration of
P, T, K.
and 3. The correct sound
Ing.
for the NG and NK letter pairs. These are all easy-to-learn rules with none to very few exceptions. If you start applying these 3 things now, your English pronunciation will improve drastically. Please subscribe and hit the like button if you got added value from this lesson.